Hey, Joe Zarzaur here to talk to you about how it's probably not a good idea for you to handle a serious personal injury case without a lawyer. There is obviously some complex laws in Florida when it comes to motor vehicle accidents. You've probably heard them as no fault. It's a no fault state when it comes to automobile wrecks in Florida. And that in and of itself makes things quite complicated in regards to trying to navigate this without a lawyer. I think some of the biggest problems pro se litigants get into, the pro se meaning the people that handle cases without a lawyer, is that they believe basically that the insurance company is looking out for their best interest in some respect, and they're not. So sometimes an adjuster, even with your own company, will tell you something that may not be 100% accurate, and the fact that it's not 100% accurate means that you could potentially give away your case. And that's a dangerous thing, obviously. So here's how that plays out. After a wreck, most people do not end up admitted to the hospital. Most people after a wreck end up going to the ER and they get a slip of paper from the ER that says they have a cervical strain, or they have a back strain, or they have a shoulder strain, but they don't need to be admitted to the hospital. Very few people, in fact, have to be admitted to the hospital. Many claimants or plaintiffs think that since they were released from the ER, that they must be not seriously injured. And that's not the case. That only means that they don't think you're going to die or lose a limb in 24 hours or 48 hours. That's the purpose of the ER, is to recognize those people that have life or limb-threatening injuries and to get those people in the hospital. Just because they send you home and they make you they tell you you don't need to be admitted to the hospital, that does not mean that you don't have a serious injury. People think that it means that they don't, and they end up talking to insurance companies and they play down the potential injury that they still have that hasn't been diagnosed. I would say that a majority of the people that end up with significant disc injuries requiring surgery, whose cases are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, leave with the same piece of paper that somebody with a minor whiplash has that doesn't have any symptoms after the ER. The reason that those people act the same way in regards to the insurance company is that the insurance company is actually compensated and pays the adjusters extra incentives to try to close out a case within days of the wreck. The insurance company has numbers and data that show if they close out the case within a couple of days, they save millions of dollars. And so what they do to promote that is they bonus the adjusters who are able to get checks and releases from injured parties within a couple of days of the wreck. They've shown up at people's houses in my career. People have told me they've shown up at people's places of work with checks, and they'll hand you a check and you're thinking, oh, well, this is great. I'll get a couple $1,000s and I didn't have to do anything. But what you don't know is you're also signing away many times your right to your medical expenses being paid by your own insurance company, if it's your own insurance company trying to pay you, or you're signing away your right to collect money from the other side's insurance after you get diagnosed. And since the insurance companies know that most people have no idea what their diagnosis is after the second or third day, and they know that you're really not going to know for weeks, sometimes months, they know that we got to get to them before a lawyer gets to them and tells them the truth, and we got to get to them before they realize how bad their injury is. So the number one issue with handling your case on your own is you will likely settle it for something less than what it's worth. And sometimes that is a very significant amount of money because you have no idea what your injury is. So the most important thing to remember is you're potentially giving away a lot of insurance company money by settling your case without a lawyer. A lot of people think they can do it, like they can go to Office Depot and buy a will, or they can get online and try to do some kind of legal Zoom thing for their real estate purchase. Well, listen, this is not that. This is your life. This is an injury. This is something that potentially will affect you the rest of your years here on this earth. So it's probably important that you get it looked at and you take your time and decide what's best for you and your family moving forward. If you have questions about pursuing a case on your own or an injury matter in general, you can find us on the web at zarzaurlaw.com, or you can call us at 855-HIRE-JOE. Thank you.